I might edit together just a super cut of all Terry Lee.
Please do that.
Just the entire Terry Lee story.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
As always, and forever, we will be sponsored by Terry Lee Hyundai, who is a man
Oh, praise Terry Lee.
exclusively that sells vehicles in the central Indiana area.
Okay.
Terry Lee, quality.
Yeah.
Terry Lee Hyundai. Hyundai.
This is a stupid bit that we keep doing. Still can't do.
Terry Lee, the king of car sales in central Indiana.
Of Hyundai.
Hyundai.
Of Hyundai. Yep. That was
Terry
the
Lee
surprise.
Hyundai, the king
Hyundai.
of central Indiana car sales.
It's also definitely not pronounced Hyundai.
How do you actually
Hyundai.
pronounce it?
Hyundai.
Hyundai?
Hyundai, like Sunday.
Hyundai.
Hyundai, like
Hyundai.
Sunday.
Terry Lee Hyundai.
It's exotic.
Exotic.
I hope Terry Lee himself pronounces it Hyundai.
Hyundai. Continuing his long streak of sponsoring us is, of course, the king of central Indiana car sales, Terry Lee Genesis. Terry Lee. Quality you can count on. Genesis. Not a car brand that I'm really familiar with.
I was like, I
but
didn't even know that was a car brand.
I don't know. But Terry Lee.
But he still has a Hyundai, so
What is-
Terry Lee's got the Hyundai.
Hyundai. It's just Hyundai.
Hyundai. But he also has a Genesis. As always, we are sponsored by the king of central Indiana car sales, Terry Lee Genesis. Genesis. It's just a Hyundai.
Genesis. Fancy Hyundai.
Genesis. Fancy Hyundai.
Hyundai.
And then, of course,
Every time I'm going to say it, I cannot. It's just Hyundai.
No, I don't think it is.
Have you seen how it's spelled? I don't think it is.
Hyundai? I don't think
it's
it
a
is.
Hyundai.
It's just
It
a Hyundai.
feels culturally insensitive the way you're saying it.
It wasn't
At
funny.
least,
and now it's funny again.
Is it better or worse to call it funny Honda?
Probably worse.
I don't know. We are also sponsored by the king of central Indiana car sales, Terry Lee Genesis. Genesis. It's a Hyundai.
It's a car.
It's
Apparently.
a Hyundai. It's just a fancy one. And we were, of course, sponsored
Kim, your
by
retort.
It's Hyundai.
Okay.
Okay, disagree. We are also sponsored by, as mentioned earlier, the king of central Indiana car sales, the man, the myth, the gentleman with nipples as hard as fucking iron, Terry Lee Genesis. It's just a fancy Hyundai.
I've heard Terry Lee cut his own leg off because he didn't want to leave in case the deal didn't close.
He absolutely did. And he doesn't care. We are also sponsored by the king,
There it is.
undisputed champion of central Indiana car sales, the man, the myth,
This gets better every
the legend. He stands a whopping 5'6"
A giant,
and 230 pounds.
a giant.
Do you
A
know that for
giant,
certain?
a titan in the industry. No,
I was like, that's very
I literally made
specific.
him right. He's a human Jode.
He's stucky. He's stucky. You can't knock him down.
It actually says that on his
His
business
center of gravity makes him impossible to knock over.
You try, and you
say-
can't.
Did you say he was a human chode?
Yeah.
I was like, I swear I heard that, but no one reacted. I was like,
He test drives. He has all of his cars test driven by running into him, and none of them can knock him down.
Only the cars that injure him may he sell.
Terry Lee is our Chuck Norris.
Also, you should check out his Insta.
Yeah, you should check out.
I wanted to bring that up. Kyle sent a screen grab. I think I threw the screen grab in the Dropbox already. But Kyle sent a screen grab from his phone of Instagram, of Terry Lee's Instagram. And like 5 of his 10 most recent mentions are us.
He'll figure it out eventually.
Which is fucking
And ask us
awesome.
to stop.
Yeah, he's the only inverse sponsor we'll ever have. Please don't talk about me.
Anyway, our sponsor, Terry Lee. Genesis. It's just a fancy Iona.
A fancy Iona?
Iona.
We are getting weirder and weirder on the names of the Hyundais.
It's Hyundai.
Hyundai?
It's just Monday.
There we go. We got the whole thing.
And of course, as always, we are sponsored by the King, the Emperor, the Dictator, the Pol Pot of Central Indiana car sales, Terry Lee, Genesis. Genesis. This is a fancy Hyundai.
It's a fancy what?
Hyundai.
I like how the evolution of Hyundai is gone with you, Kyle.
Yeah.
Keep it going. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear.
Most
I
of it
can't wait to hear the
It
next
just sounded like you
episodes.
said it's a fancy Honda. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
gone so far.
You better
now.
say it clear so they
Oh.
Terry Lee doesn't think you said Honda.
Hyundai.
It lives mostly in the back of Kyle's throat now.
Hyundai. I think he should be more upset that I just called him the Pol Pot.
I was gonna say that's probably the least. That's probably like not. Yeah, that's that's not a good one.
I don't get it. But I think
That's fine.
I think Kyle keeps doing this solely because of Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so I can keep tagging him, and I hope he realizes it one day. Also, for the past month, I've driven by Terry Lee Genesis every
Why
day.
didn't you go get a photo
it's
with
an
Terry
Indiana.
Lee?
Why didn't you go buy a Hyundai?
I'm also...
Because they sell Hyundai.
Okay,
I'm
why
not
didn't you
in
get
the
a
market
Genesis?
for a vehicle. I'm not in the market for a vehicle right now, so I could have
You
swung
could have
by
at
and said
least
hello.
taken a picture out by the sign.
Or giving him a
I don't-
sticker or something. Or a
just don't
pin.
know.
Or just
I'm
stuck a
interested
sticker on
in-
whether he wanted it or not.
Yeah.
I don't know how tall he is. I'm interested in like what
He's
like.
a gigantic. He's giant of the car sales. So
in my
obviously
mind, yeah,
he's a massive, empowering
he's a 7 foot
towering
tall, steely
demigod.
Demigod.
I really thought you were gonna say he's a hulking 5'4".
Well, it could
Nick,
either.
I would
I was
say-
gonna say it could be. It can only be one or the other extreme. He's either 5'4" or he's 7 feet. One or the other.
I'm going to be honest. I'm picturing a
Both
centaur,
are
but instead of
powerful
a
in their
horse,
own
it's
way.
a Genesis.
Oh my God! What if he's a Genesis? But his bottom's a Genesis. Torso up, he's a man.
He's man and Genesis. That's how we.
He's a car tar.
He's a Madison.
Car top.
car tar.
Because in a centaur, the bottom half is a cent.
Car tar.
Well, that's why he's always behind a desk because like he never comes out, and you'd be like, "Oh my God,
Yeah.
he's man and machine."
Well, you just
You're
think
half
they're just like, why are you always just standing through a sunroof?
you open the door and his guts just fall out.
They're just like, damn, Terry Lee's partying 24/7.
Through this,
The worst part is if you open up the door, it's just like guts and stuff. It's
His
like
guts and stuff.
it's gut. It's not a car. As you open it up, it's just guts.
It's a
and
scene from
veins.
The worst
Slither
part
in
is
there.
the worst
Yeah.
part is you're like, is that car shitting? It's like,
But he would also shit like a horse. He would just
think
let it
it's-
drop where he's
it's
walking.
apple plops coming out of the exhaust pipe.
And then imagine Terry Lee's Cartar driving through the dealership and into his office and behind a desk big enough for a
it's a
Cartar.
full-size
Oh yeah,
car?
full-size
Yeah.
Cartar.
He's
I
a
almost
sedan.
think I'd like it better if it was like one of those kids battery powered ones.
Like a Shriner car.
Kind
Oh,
of,
that'd
yeah.
be amazing.
Yeah.
Good too.
What I like though is that he would be driving himself to work and he'd have to like be full winter jacket and like
Goggles.
helmet and shit,
Yeah.
goggles.
And he would just turn the heat
Got
on.
a scarf.
How would that warm his upper body?
It just inside,
It
he'd be all
wouldn't.
toasty.
It goes.
He just
it-
turns
Oh, you
up his
think it would
body
warm
temp
other
literally.
end, too?
Yeah.
That seems dangerous.
Yeah, it
but-
does.
Well, you know.
Either way, he drinks gasoline out of a coffee cup.
Yeah,
Wow.
made it work.
Those are our sponsors.
That's why he's always ready to fuck. Because he
Those
drinks
are our
gasoline
You drink-
out of a coffee
drinks
cup.
How does he
gasoline.
fuck?
I don't know.
That's
As a Cartar. Look, do you really want to get into
All I know
logistics
is
of
he's
car
always
dicks right
ready.
now?
Doesn't matter how he does it.
We are just over an hour. You want to talk about car dicks
Nope.
now?
Nope.
Now you want to get into it at the end of the show, Kim?
Now. Of all the time.
He's the father to 6 sedans.
Mid-size to
6
full.
beautiful
full.
mid-sized sedans.
And one SUV.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I would love it if the wife was just like a normal human woman.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be like Titan.
Her
It's
name-
Titan
her
all over
name
again.
is Rebecca. Rebecca Lee.
Rebecca Lee Hyundai Genesis.
Yeah, oh yeah. She has to
he
take the
he
full
also
name.
made it take Hyundai's name.
Take the names of all of his dealerships.
That's his illegal name, Terry Lee Genesis.
Terry,
Just worked out.
Her name is Rebecca Lee Genesis Hyundai Jeep Cherokee.
Does he do Jeep Cherokee?
Ford Dodge Ram.
I think
course he
Dodge. I think
The
he
man
has all
probably
the
has- he
dealerships.
probably has all
I
of
think he has
them.
all of them.
He
I
probably
think he's
also-
got the full range.
I want to look him up now. I
The
want to
king.
see.
You want to see him?
I don't know. I want to. Well,
You want to
There's a
see his
reason he's
Cartar
the-
Barney?
There's a reason he's the God Emperor of Central India.
Yeah, Joey, you should look up Pol Pot after this.
Okay.
John, for you.
so I can go back and cut all those parts out of the show.
Yeah, that's probably accurate.
And then, of course, we are sponsored by the big man himself, the 2-ton Cartar of Central Indiana car sales, the
Totally
man,
forgot about the car.
the
the Lord.
literal myth, Terry Lee Genesis. Genesis. It's just a fancy name. Oh, my.
You're so far away from it each time. It's a journey. We're going so far away. It's gonna at some point in time. It's just gonna be Toyota, and then we're gonna
I
push
think that's
back
closer.
down.
I think that's closer to what it actually is than what he said.
Yeah,
we're gonna circle
We're gonna
around.
be-
We'll get
it's-
back.
It's
Yeah.
Eventually.
It's a fancy Hot Wheels.
Well, we really appreciate him. We really appreciate
Truly.
that.
Gold.
Just, I also imagine now that he's officially a Cartar and that's his canon.
Yeah.
Is like you could milk him for oil. Is that something you can do?
Well, no, kids could be milking bad oil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can't.
You
You
don't
don't
milk it for
milk a
oil, but
car
it'd be
for
the
oil.
gross oil.
Yeah.
The gross
Even from
used
him?
Oil. Well, it'd be well.
You could ghost
Even
ride.
Terry Lee needs an oil change.
Yeah,
You could ghost ride the whip, Terry Lee.
It looks like he is,
anytime.
but
someone,
now you could as well too. Like
Oh.
open up his door.
but it's like gooey in there. Don't
Yeah.
go in
Yeah,
there.
it's gonna be a great time, but you could do it.
Yeah,
When
that's
he-
a good. That's a
when
good
he has
picture.
sex with his wife, she's technically ghost riding.
If I was better at drawing people, I would draw this, but I'm not, so I won't.
draw the car
Okay.
part, and then I'll draw the people part.
I also don't know what he looks
Let's
like.
just go as a corpse.
Doesn't matter. You're drawing the car part.
Let's-
it doesn't
let's-
look like
let's-
that.
I'm also bad at drawing
How about
cars.
this? How about this? Fuck a new mixer. Let's commission like a photorealistic artist.
That is 100% only for us. Like, we joke a lot that we do things that, this is just for us. That would be only for us.
Okay.
We'd sell it.
Okay. If we did
Become our best-selling shirt.
If we did do that, we would have to scan it, make shirts, do whatever, make sure digitally we have it. We would have to just mail it to him.
Also, we have to make it as an NFT.
We would have to. We would
has to be
have.
an NFT.
Yeah, but we'd have to frame it and mail it to him. No letter. No nothing. Just
anonymous gift.
The fucking front desk person at Terry Lee Genesis opens a framed Cartar drawing, and she's like, "Who did this?
Is that from that stupid fucking podcast that keeps tagging me? That stupid idiot!
I'm so mad. I could beep 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 beep.
Hey, Terry, calm down. Your system's going off again.
You're gonna blow your smartphones, Terry.
Terry, calm down, Terry.
Somebody get the key fob. Get the key fob.
Fuck!
God damn it! Push that.
Damn it! Wow,
That's good.
we appreciate his time.
That would be. You know what's funny though is I picture the Cartar is like the part is at the bottom, like not even being a Genesis, just being like a shitty Beetle or something.
Yes.
It's like a RAV4.
Yeah, or a Hummer. Ooh,
Oh,
Cartar a Hummer.
Cartar a Hummer. That's big.
He's
That big.
He's big. He's the king.
He might be.
He might be Hummer big.
He might be Hummer big.
We should ask him.
Let's just
Keep tagging him on Instagram because I don't know. We're crazy people. Like this is the like in our story we are the heroes doing this funny thing, and any other story we're the villain, crazy people that won't leave something alone.
borderline harassment.
Borderline destroying this
Borderline
man's.
harassment. Certainly defamation.
I don't know. I think it sounds pretty dope.
Yeah, I mean, he's so lucky to get so much time.
He didn't even pay us.
He didn't even pay
The
us.
check hasn't cleared.
Sorry, bud. This is free advertising. Go ahead and try to stop us.
You're telling me though, if a listener of the show, like one of the 10, was driving through Indianapolis and saw Terry Lee's Hyundai,
Yeah.
they wouldn't be like, "We got to get a picture. We got to go with it. We got."
I mean, I want to see people. I want to hear about people making whole pilgrimage just to see it.
buying a car from him.
Buying a car.
Tell him we sent you.
If you buy a car from Terry Lee, we will not do anything, but you have to tell him that you
got it
from
from us.
Yeah.
And
How'd you hear about us? From a fucking podcast
that wouldn't stop
that you
your
don't
fake
sponsor.
sponsorship.
We are, as always, sponsored by the man, the myth, the 2-ton motherfucking Cartar of Central Indiana car sales. Terry Lee Genesis. Genesis. It just affects
You're adding letters to the beginning.
Yeah.
Manda.
He's got to really swallow most of the letters.
Genesis, call your local fire department.
Genesis. No, I don't think the Genesis is burning up because they're too fancy.
Okay.
Too fancy.
It was just Hyundais?
Hyundais and Kias.
I thought it was Genesis.
No.
Oh, it might be
Hyundai,
Genesis.
It was
though.
Hyundai and Kias.
Well, it doesn't matter because Terry Lee definitely owns a Hyundai.
So we should go back to Hyundai?
Hyundai. He definitely has a Hyundai thing for sure. He's dealing with it, I'm sure.
Oh, he definitely has to deal with it.
Oh, yeah.
They're
yeah,
on his
yeah,
law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, bad times.
He might have to pull his
No,
sponsorship.
I think what you do is you just bundle
Financially.
a fire extinguisher with it. It comes with it's
Gift
it's
with
an
purchase.
accessory.
I'm just
It's an
saying,
accessory.
he's going to have to provide those, so he might have to drop sponsorship.
We are also, of course, sponsored by the 2-ton Cartar of Central Indiana car sales. The man, the myth. He's never met a woe that he wouldn't drive his fucking full-on Cartar body through. Terry Lee Genesis.
Never met a woe he didn't show. Dibba-doo-dah.
Genesis. It's just a fancy Hyundai. We are also, of course, sponsored by the man, the myth, the big dick, two-ton car.
Kyle is melting down now.
Oh, Jesus.
That's a tortoise fucking.
I was going to say, that's also turtle
That's a
smoking.
turtle.
We are sponsored by the big dick two-ton car tar, king of Central Indiana car sales. He'll fucking sell you a car and then he'll steal it back. He doesn't care.
That's a good business model.
It is a good business model. We are, of course, talking about Terry Lee Genesis. Genesis is a fancy Hyundai.
That was almost really the word that
That's what
time.
I'm saying. We
Almost.
have to back
Close.
up. We have to back off. But yes, of course, if you're in Central Indiana, please seek out the car tar.
He's in the middle of a maze.
Yeah,
You got to answer some riddles.
here's the important thing. To get to Terry Lee Genesis, you have to drive through a giant corn maze. There is a Minotaur. There's a car tar. You must fight his 4 children.
No, I want to say what happened when Brian said that is that my mental theater of Terry Lee at his dealership immediately just populated with a giant maze. It was like immediately the mythology of my theater just expanded. I'm like, of course
There's a maze.
It's the only way to stay safe.
How do you prove your worth to buy a car
But
from
I
him?
imagine it like a magic maze, like the Goblet of Fire.
Yeah.
Like where the walls change.
Yeah, sure.
and
Either way, it's a
shit,
physical
like-
challenge.
It's a
and
corn
you get to the
maze.
middle,
Yeah.
you got to fight him.
It's a magic corn maze. He's in the middle. Is the only way to prove
You
your
know,
worth to
but
buy
you
it.
would-
Genesis is a high-end car.
I was gonna say though,
It's
you would
basically
think,
a Lexus.
I think that's not a great
high-end
business
ish.
model.
If you want a Hyundai, you don't need to go through
If you
the
want a
maze.
Hyundai,
That's
true.
you just
Okay.
got to go down a spooky alley to get to it. But if you want a Genesis, the Lexus of Hyundais, you got to go through
You
a
gotta
corn
fight
maze.
the car tar maze.
It's true.
I'm glad this expands the myth.
I mean, it's all true.
Lore.
Yeah,
It's not
the-
myth.
It's all. It's the man. The myth,
It's
the car
literally in
tar.
Brian and I's hometown.
It's-
I drive by the corn maze.
we're the only two people here who have firsthand knowledge. So
I've seen it. I've lived it.
I've completed the maze.
Kyle's
completed
not
it.
driving a Genesis.
Oh,
he
I'm
hasn't
not
completed
driving a
the
Genesis.
maze.
No, I'm not
No,
worthy of it.
no,
I
no.
know I'm not worthy of a Genesis.
Hers
It's the
is
Lexus of Hyundai.
Get your head out of your ass.
Way
Joey.
too nice for me.
I didn't even look. Why waste my time?
They should market. That should be their marketing.
Lexus of Hyundai.
Genesis. The Lexus of Hyundai.
It is like a standardized test question. Lexus is the Toyota, or Toyota is the Lexus, as Hyundai is to.
Terry Lee.
Wrong.
But also correct. Here's the idea. I have an idea. You walk inside, mirror labyrinth. You can't find the toilet. You have to piss or shit in the corner somewhere, and then you're stuck in there forever.
Terry Lee rides
Terry
up
Lee
from,
breaks
from
it.
the middle.
You hear the sound of breaking glass. Who's that coming down the ramp?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Car tar at 90 miles an hour. Yes, it's the king of Central Indiana car sales. The motherfucking big dick car tar.
We have the lowest APRs in Central Indiana.
Terry Lee Genesis. Genesis. It's a fancy nom.
Do you practice how you're going to say that each week?
No, I have a stroke. I have a tiny brain aneurysm every time that I have to say it.
Thanks for bringing it up, Ken.
Thanks. Yes, we are, of course, sponsored by Terry Lee Genesis.
Check out his Instagram.
Check out his fucking Instagram. There is only one sponsor that matters.
All right, I'll go.
There's only one person that we came here to talk about, and it is the 2-ton, big dick, ball swinging, motherfucking car tar, the king of Central Indiana car sales, the man, the myth, the fucking dude, the guy that's gonna sell you on a decent APR if you answer all of his riddles.
And get to the center of his maze.
Motherfucking Terry Lee Genesis.
Defeat him in this. You have to defeat him in the center.
Yeah.
Genesis. It's just fancy Hyundai. That's all. You see him on the street and you're like, is that a Benz? And you're like, no, that's much cheaper.
Is our Genesis that expensive?
You see that up there and you're like, what is that? Is that a Rolls Royce? No, that's Genesis. That's not cheaper.
Genesis is cheaper.
Yes.
Okay, how nice is a Genesis? How are we talking here?
Genesis is the Lexus of Hyundai.
That's what I've heard. In that ad campaign that went nowhere.
We
Go
are,
Cats.
We are, of
Go
course,
Cats.
also sponsored by the man, the myth, the 2-ton, big dick, swinging car tar, the man that lives in its truck nuts come to life.
He's a big dick, but he swings independent
Big
of
swinging dick.
No, he
It's
swings.
both metaphorically and literal.
Oh, okay. He's winging. Got it.
That lives at the middle of a cornfield maze. We are, of course, talking about Terry Lee Genesis. Genesis. It's just a fake number.
He's got a really good social media person because I know he's not doing it and they are seeing it and be like, oh, I don't care.
I just can't imagine that their social media person hasn't listened.
They haven't.
Someone's had to hear. I was running
They
social.
haven't.
The guy's not getting.
You're not, though.
They're not running it. They
But
probably
they-
have it
guys,
and it just picks up things that
The
are
guy's
tagged.
not getting tagged in a lot of shit. The guy's not
Well,
even
yeah.
getting tagged by people that
But
are buying
is-
his fucking cars.
Are they posting stuff very often on his social media?
Every once in
I'm
a while.
posting
No.
more than he's posting.
This is my point.
She's saying it's abandoned.
I'm
And
not
that's
saying
why
it's
you
not
think-
abandoned
abandoned.
necessarily.
It's
I'm just
not
saying
abandoned.
that whoever is, quote, running his social media
Isn't running it.
really running
If-
a social media.
all right,
It's like
I'm gonna
the
put this out there.
secretary
This is the first time we
at
put it
the
out there.
office occasionally puts a picture
If
up.
you are listening to this and you run Terry Lee Genesis social media accounts, you have to reach out to us at
They
LOLJK
do
Podcast at gmail.com. Not for an opportunity thing. We just want to know
Just
if you're
tell
out
us
there.
you exist.
Just say yes.
Even if
I
it's,
think-
even
I
if it's,
see you, I
even
hear
if it's,
you.
even if it's to email us and say, hey, stop
Stop it.
talking about him.
If you
Stop
could give
it.
us an official
Well, at least
stop
no.
it, I think we could put that on the sponsor board instead.
We can have a stop it.
I think-
if you can send
yeah.
a straight up cease and desist letter, I will put it on the sponsor board.
No, just say like,
Terry Lee
I
SMP.
know
No,
you're
we
there.
don't want you to stop us.
No.
But we also will accept you stopping us as confirmation and acknowledgement.
Yeah. Terry Lee SMP, if you're listening, social media person.
Yeah.
I think it would make Kyle way happier than you could possibly realize
Yeah.
to get confirmation
that
But
you
you're out
know.
there.
You've
From-
seen it.
That you
that
know, and then we'll know
you
that you
recognize his months-long campaign.
know. As long as you know. We just want you to know. I need you to know. I need to know that you know.
Yes.
That's it. That's all I need.
Yeah.
All I've ever
Just
wanted
send us
in
an
life
email.
is recognition
Just send
and
an
anything.
email and say, I know, from your official at Terry Lee Genesis email.
Yes, please. .edu.
Terry Lee SMP at
.edu?
Yeah, it's a school too.
It's a
No.
.org.
It's a school for car tars.
We don't need to add to this.
It's like
It is-
Hogwarts.
Yeah.
It's like Hogwarts.
It's Terry Lee SMP at Fancy Hyundai.
FancyHyundai.com. We are also sponsored by the man,
We're not gonna make it, you guys. We're not gonna make it.
the myth, the 2-ton car tar whose truck nuts are real and functioning. He lives at the center of a cornfield maze, and he will get you the lowest APR on a car that you've ever seen. We are, of course, talking about Terry Lee Genesis. Genesis. It's just a combo.
Close it up. We're done.
We have no comment. We have one final concert. The Contour Shabardu.
Jibba jibba. Hyundai.
I was thinking today. Should we just leave it at that?
Yep.
I was thinking today, is it time to officially really retire Terry Lee Genesis?
Yep.
I think it is. I think this might be I think we've grown together. We've told a story. We've built a world.
Celebrated the man's life.
Yeah. I
He's
just don't
taken over
know.
his social media.
I just don't know if I just don't know if we can do anything now that the last time we did this, I had a stroke. I think once you have a stroke doing the...
He lays eggs.
See, this is what I'm trying to avoid. Stop. We've
I
already
bet he lays
established
eggs.
that his normal wife is having live births to car tars.
Yeah, we did already establish that.
The eggs are full of oil.
We need a writer's assistant, someone to keep it straight.
Please put our
Let's hire someone. If you'd like to be a free intern to come and keep track of all of
our Terry Lee lore.
All of our
keep track of
bits.
all our Terry Lee lore. Work on a Wikipedia. Please send us an email at LOLJK Podcast at gmail.com.
Did you know that a Genesis is the Lexus of Hyundai?
It is.
Did I say all that right? Because I'm not sure.
I think you
'Cause
got
can't
it.
keep it straight.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I think it's time to retire. I think it's time that we respect. He never acknowledged us. His social
So
media time
rude.
never acknowledged us, which is fine. It's fine. But I think that it is, and I'm sorry that Brian's not here, but
To see him off.
I think that we have to Viking funeral.
Look, you can
Terry
say that
Lee
now.
Genesis.
I'll believe it when I see you actually change the board.
Yeah. Of course, the big news is that
We're
we
missing
lost
someone.
our long.
Yes.
We decided at the end. Brian, you didn't listen to the end.
No,
of
I
last
didn't finish it
episode,
up, but,
so
We decided without you.
it's time to retire Terry Lee Genesis. So he has been removed from the sponsor
no, we played
board.
yakety sax for him.
We, of course,
That never
love him dearly,
I
but
forgot about that.
I have some news because
You're replacing him on the board.
I need to replace him on the board.
Okay.
And also, our timing was pretty good because I
Did his
have some
dealership
news.
close?
No. Terry Lee, as
Send us
of
a cease and
May,
desist order.
has retired.
Oh no!
And he
Wait, has he passed
sold-
it on?
He has sold Genesis and Hyundai dealerships
No, he was not ready for that.
to
You got him. It still works. It's still.
go fuck yourself. He sold them to the Penske Automotive Group,
Penske.
owned by Roger Penske, which you may recognize the name. Basically,
No.
they're a big racing family. They own the Indianapolis
Oil?
Motor Speedway.
Oh.
Oh, and
that
they
a thing?
own basically IndyCar, I think, like the whole series. So
wow.
just rich ass motherfuckers.
So what they needed. was
Terry
more.
made bank,
Yeah.
is what you're saying.
So
Gotta keep that Terry Lee name, though.
yeah. So he is, let's see, a couple things about Lee had a lasting career of more than 50 years, beginning at the age 21 as a finance manager. He's also credited to being the first minority to own a major car dealership
Very
in the
good.
Indianapolis area,
Very
which is
good.
great.
Cool.
But yeah, I guess.
And the first car tar.
Well, that was the
Well, that was the
minority.
minority.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah. My bad. My
Duh.
bad.
Duh. The first car
Look,
tar
you
to
guys.
own one of them.
Sorry. My bad.
Oh.
So,
he was the first to put his dealership in the center of the maze.
yeah.
But just the Genesis, not the
That was
Hyundai.
announced back in
Yeah.
May, and I was looking at their of course their Instagram, and
Naturally.
it has changed. So now
Oh,
it is
no.
over. It has changed from Terry Lee Genesis to just Genesis of Noblesville, which of course now is our new sponsor.